Hi, wonderful students. Let's take a look at part 2 of your Unit 1 progress check. So in part 1, you have already completed the summary portion of your planner. This particular assignment is going to then take you through the outline for the introduction, the 2 body paragraphs, and the conclusion of your summary and response essay. So what your assignment will look like by the end is it will be completely filled out. So you're not, just turning in the summary portion for part 1 and then leaving it blank for part 2. I want to see a complete planner when you turn in this document. You will turn in this document to the same folder that you submitted part 1. So you'll have 2 documents in one folder and feedback for both of them. Now, what you're going to be doing for this assignment is filling out the introduction. You're going to be filling out the body part paragraphs, and you have your first body paragraph, your second body paragraph, and then you will have your conclusion as well. So notice again that some of these areas are completely written out, and some of these areas are just bullet points. So let's go through each part to make sure that we're understanding what to do. The first thing that I would do for this assignment is I would take a look at the summary and response writing overview to make sure that I'm understanding all the different components of this summary and response essay. Again, you can look at the thing link, you can read about it, but I want to make sure that you are understanding that you're choosing 2 of these questions to respond to for reading number 1. Now, after we've understood that, what I would do next is I would actually go into the summary and response essay. Why? Because this is your final product, right? And so since we're planning it, right, we want to make sure that we know exactly where we need to head in order to make sure that our plan is correct. So think about it like this. If you were invited to a party, right, you would already have your outfit ready to go. You would have the present ready. You would know what time you need to be there, who's going to be there, all the cool things that are going to happen at this party. And then after you've established all of that, that's when you put your GPS in, right? That's when you put your navigation in and your Google Maps or whatever it is in order to get to the party. And so our planner is exactly that. We need to make sure that we understand what the party looks like and what the party's all about, right? Before we actually plan to get there. So go ahead and read the sample summary and response essay in full so that then you're able to complete the assignment. The next thing that I would do is I would take a look at introductions and conclusions. So I would look at how to write an introduction, what a hook looks like, what the background information should be, what the thesis statement is. The other thing that I would look at is I would look at the different types of hooks, because you will be required to use one of these 6 hooks in your planner. Once you have gone through and taken a look at all of this information, then I would go in and actually plan your introduction. Make sure that you tell me what kind of hook you're using in the first bullet, and then you might need 2, 3, 4, 5, however many bullets you need in order to just tell me how you're planning on starting off your hook. Notice that this is not a complete sentence and that you're good to go. Then what I want to know is a little bit of background about the topic. So what is the article about? 1 or 2 sentences will be in your essay about what the article is about. Remember, the background information connects the hook to the thesis. So I want to see a couple of bullet points about information that you need to include in the background. In the thesis statement, I want you to write it out. Okay, so since you have a thesis statement module here, I would like for you to use that and make sure that you write out the full sentence so that then you can build the whole rest of your outline as you move forward. Let's skip down then to see the response. Now, what I would use is I would take a look again at the sample paper, see what I need to do, what information I need to include, and then I would take a look at the CSET body paragraphs. In our course, you know that we use CSET for every kind of body paragraph that we do for every essay. And for this assignment, I'm really looking forward to seeing your mastery of that CSET format. In order to help you along, the actual the actual 2 body paragraphs that you'll be working with, all right, are going to be in CSET format. So what you need to do for your body and response is I want you to write down the actual question that you've chosen. So the first question that you've chosen here from your choices, I want you to write down the question, and then I want you to actually write out the claim sentence, all right? So in CSET, you need a claim, a setup, evidence, and a tie-in. I want you to directly write out your claim sentence. I want you to then write your setup and give your example. Now, you can either paraphrase or you can quote. It's up to you what you want to do, but I want to see your APA citation as well. Notice that the tie-in, I have a couple of bullets here that do not have a full sentence. You are not writing a rough draft for part 2. Instead, I want you to plan it. So what are some of the ideas that you want to include in your tie-in? Okay. Now, the next point, the second main point, of course, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. Writing your second question from your choice here. You're going to be writing your setup. So maybe you want to use a sentence for your setup. Maybe, so you're going to be writing your claim first and answering the question, okay? And then you might want to have one sentence for your setup, or you might want to just set it up with a transition word or a signal phrase, whatever it is that you want to do. Evidence, again, I've used a quote here, but if you would like to use a paraphrase, that's a great idea because you really should be using more paraphrase than quotations. You'll use your APA citation, and then your tie-in will be bulleted points of information that you need in order to tie this all together. What I want to see in your bullet points is the why, okay? So if you're doing a praise here, right? Why is this able to be praised? Why is this quote important? Why is it that you've chosen this quote to show what is being praised? And, why does it deserve the praise? Okay, so that tie-in always answers the question of why. Your conclusion, again, goes along then with introductions and conclusions, where you have a lot of different tips and information in order to help you build your concluding paragraph. You also have a great video here to help you along. Notice that the conclusion is in bullet points, so I really want to see some thought here, but make sure that you're vague enough that you can make some adjustments, but also specific enough that I'm able to see what information you're working with, okay? You should be able to take this planner then and actually use the planner to gain feedback and put it all together to write your essay, okay? So the more information that you put in the planner in your bullet points, the better off you are going to be. All right. So once you've completed the planner, you'll get feedback and then be able to then write your essay directly from this planner. It's already in CSET format, so you should be good to go. Okay, everybody. That concludes our tutorial on how to complete part 2 of your planner. Good luck, and I can't wait to see what you've come up with.